not that. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and tell y'all brothers that y'all can whoop every woman on the planet. I ain't trying to, don't you be no fool, because you gonna run up on some woman and she gonna be able to put some moves on you. You gonna be like, what in the heck? Who taught you that? But on average, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just, like, even the Bible gonna tell you that the woman is the weaker vessel. It don't say y'all weaker vessels. It say the woman is. So the reality is, regardless of what society has tried to tell us, they done lied to you. Men and women are not equal. You know what I'm saying? And when you get home and you got a husband and a wife, somebody has to take the charge. Somebody has to take the lead. And God has already ordained the way it's supposed to be. Now, like I say, kings, don't be no fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she know how to handle the account, the money, why is you doing that? If you can't see and she can see, why are you driving? You know what I'm saying? Like, I say that because I remember when my uncle Bill, before he died, I remember when he had to hand over the keys. And the funny part about it was, he didn't think his wife could drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't stand her driving. So all through life, he drove. You know what I'm saying? But then one day they pull up to my mama's house, and I see her getting out the car out the driver's seat. And I was like, yeah, my Uncle Bill getting old, man. He had to hand over the keys. That's what I'm saying. Don't be no fool. If the woman got some skill that you can do, that you can't do, then you a good king or a good manager or whatever is about delegating responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like no, I don't know. The woman is the help me. That's what she is. She help you do whatever you want her to help you do. Wherever your shortcomings is, wherever you need her to be there, that is her role with you. All right? So he says here again, verse 8, it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but why was the woman created, bro?
But the woman for the man.
Man, it don't get no plainer than that, y'all. Don't fight the Bible, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let your feelings get in the way of what God is saying. God is telling you how to think. You can think how you want to think, but it might be wrong. Do you want God doctrine, or do you want Susan B. Wells? I mean, Susan B. Wells. I done merged two names. Ida B. Wells and Susan B. Anthony, which both had something to do with the women's rights movement. But I'm saying, or do you want their doctrine? You dig what I'm saying? Do you want their verity that they trying to give you? I don't know about all that, ladies. That's your choice. Verse 3, read that.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Yeah.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Uh-huh.
And the head of Christ is God.
Very good. Let's go back to Genesis now. Let's go back to Genesis. Back to Genesis. Pick it back up at chapter 3. Like I said, we had 36 scriptures, but you see, we moving through it. Cause what we been about an hour and 15 minutes. We started at like 1:30. So yeah, so now we're about an hour and almost 50 minutes now. So we on, we go 2.5 with me. That's pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? So even though it's a lot of verses on here, a lot of scriptures, but at the end of the day, y'all really shouldn't care. You dig what I'm saying? Because you don't read this much during the week. Now some of y'all may. I'm not. Y'all my people, so I ain't even gonna act. You know what I'm saying? Like I give this crew a great amount of credit. Y'all get in y'all book. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm still saying most people don't read this much throughout the whole week. You know what I mean? So that's why it never bothers me how long we really gonna go. I just know that some people start to get a little restless after 2 hours. So. But at any rate, Genesis 3, let's pick it up at verse 1. So now we're going back to the garden. That's where we at. We in the garden. We're going to look at a scene or something that happened in the garden. Go ahead, take off, bro.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made.
Yeah.
And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Now this ain't no typical serpent, y'all. This is Satan. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even going to play no games with it. We just read in Revelation chapter 12 and 9, it said that old serpent, the dragon, called the devil. You know what I'm saying? Who deceived the whole world. He the most subtle beast of the field. Right. Now, snakes ain't the most subtle beast of the field, y'all. Go watch National Geographic. The eagle will snatch up a snake easy. Just snatch him and keep going. Talking about the coldest snake. And then even on hand-to-hand combat, the snake don't want man-day or the mongoose. Right, like he just ain't the most subtle beast of the field. That's all. I mean, at the end of the day, that's not a true statement if we're talking about a literal coral or king cobra snake. He's talking about an individual. And come on, y'all know snakes. How they talking? Like, do they have vocal cords? I mean, they don't even bark. You know what I'm saying? So how is a snake talking? You know, you might be like, well, the donkey talk. Well, at least he got a vocal cord. Like, go do your homework about snakes, man. Ain't nothing coming out of him but a hiss. So we're not talking about regular snake here. Most subtle beast of the field. So at any rate, and you got to understand something, Adam and Eve ain't tripping because they see Satan. It ain't like they got neighbors. You dig what I'm saying? It ain't like they know anybody else. So if Satan got 4 faces or 50 faces, what do they care? You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that matters to them because this is all they know. Is what they see right here in the garden at this moment. Well, if it's new, it's not a surprise. You understand? When God brought Adam, Eve, he wasn't all like, what the heck happened here? You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, okay, this was next. You know what I'm saying? He might get introduced to some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like, you think he named every single animal in one day? I doubt it. So at any rate, what verse?
Verse 2.
Go ahead.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruits of the trees of the garden.
Yes.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden,
What God say?
God have said, ye shall not eat of it,
Right.
neither shall ye touch it,
What's going to happen?
lest ye die.
What did the serpent say?
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Man, such a liar. Because we are now. We dead now because of your stupidity. What else to say though?
For God doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Man, such lies. Such lies. Let's go prove. Hosea chapter 10. Just such lies, man. We're going to show you who this serpent was, though. Real easy. Real easy. We proved everything in here. We won't leave nothing to chance or doubt. You think it was a snake? I'm like, snakes don't talk. Wait till you see the curses. The curse they got put on that serpent. Yeah. So Hosea chapter 10, verse 13. No, I started like 11. Started 11. And when you get there, go ahead, Hosea chapter 10 and verse 11. Start there. Go ahead.
And Ephraim is as an heifer that is taught, and lover that tread out the corn. But I pass over upon her fair neck. I will make Ephraim to ride. Judah shall plow, and Jacob shall break his clods.
Go ahead.
Sow yourselves in righteousness.
Right, so he said that you need to sow to yourself righteousness. Now, whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. Sow as in plant. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying plant within yourself righteousness. Go ahead.
Reap in mercy.
And then you'll reap back mercy. God, go ahead.
Break up your fallow ground.
Yeah.
For it is time to seek the Lord.
Like when he say break up your fallow ground, like that's like the hard ground. But he's talking about you. Like break up your, like stop being so hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? Break up your fallow, seek the Lord. Go ahead.
Till he come and rain righteousness upon you.
Yes, sir.
Ye have plowed wickedness.
He say, because what you done did was you plowed wickedness. What else?
Ye have reaped iniquity.
Right, you put wickedness in the ground, so iniquity came back upon us. Go ahead.
Ye have eaten the fruit of lies.
Oh, dang, you can eat the fruit of lies? Of course, that's what Adam and Eve ate from. That's what Eve was eating from when she was in the garden. That was lies that was being told to her. That's the first thing we said. You such a liar. Matter of fact, let's go show you some more. Let's go to John chapter 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here reading the story like, bro, you just lying, man. Because that's what he was giving them, lies. Lies killed them. Lies kill us. Lies destroy, like when they say our people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge, right? Because we got lies instead of knowledge. That's what we got. Christmas is December. Jesus was born on December 25th. Lie. And then you had the nerve to tell me Santa Claus was coming down my chimney. I had to try to figure that out, y'all, because we had a chimney, but it wasn't like a chimney fireplace joint. It was a chimney that went into the attic. You know what I'm saying? And it did something, you know, ventilation for the house or whatever, you know, I don't know, you know, some up north thing, right? And so I'm in my grandma in the attic. And I'm like trying to look and see how because the attic is like in the closet where the chimney go. I'm dead serious. Like, we still own the house. So, you know, you upstairs, you in the room, and then it's a closet in there, and then the chimney, and it's like the concrete, you know, the bricked out chimney. But it stopped right there, and it got an opening on the other side, but it ain't like you put nothing in it. So here I am, I'm like 7, 8 years old, and I'm like all the way, I ain't got no business being. I'm all up in the closet, all back, trying to figure out how Santa Claus getting through this. Then, wait a minute, I'm outside, right? And I'm in front of the house, and I'm looking at the top of the chimney, and I'm like, how's dude fitting through that? Like, so look, I'm so convinced that it's true, I figure that dude must slim himself down, right? To get through the little holes. And then when he get into your house, because we making dude cookies and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I got to believe he really coming. I'm saying, you just was lying. Like you had me running off with a whole lie. I mean, just think about that, y'all. Like, you know, I mean, look, I done dear Lord this lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dear Lord, when Santa Claus come, you know what I'm saying? You got me, God up there like, idiot, man. Would y'all please, would somebody please send this man an angel and take him? Santa Claus ain't real. So I'm just saying, like, you know, that's what you asking. We still got lies, not knowledge. Let's go and hit this John chapter 8 real quick. We can see who the father of these lies was. John 8 and 41. John chapter 8 and verse 41. When you get there, take off on that one. John 8 and 41. John chapter 8 and verse 41. You get there, take off, my brother.
You do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, We be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. Jesus said unto them, If God were your Father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me.
Right.
Why do you not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word.
Right.
Ye are of your father the devil.
Right.
And the lust of your father will you do. He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a murderer. He was a murderer in heaven. He was a murderer on earth. In the beginning you look at it. Satan was the one though. That's who this serpent was in the garden. Remember we read Revelation 12:9. That old serpent called the devil, who deceived the whole world. Did you finish that verse? Go ahead, finish that one up.
And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. That's good. So let's go back to Genesis now. Let's go back to Genesis. Genesis chapter 3. We're going to look at it from 16. Genesis chapter 3. We're going to go back to the story. We'll skip all the rhetoric that take place. We don't need all that right now. That's all. There's nothing wrong with it. They're going to get the rest of the story, what happened, them, man and woman, how that played out. But we want to go look at the curses that happened. Actually, we could start at verse 14. I don't think we're coming back here. Let's see. Yeah, it's our last visit. Yeah, this our last. Oh, I see what I do. Oh, I see what I did. You idiot. Okay, so Matthew 7. Oh, I guess we don't need that now. Matthew 7 was that you could tell a tree by the fruit that it bear. But it was talking about people. You know what I'm saying? Because what I was trying to show you was that tree of good and evil. That was Satan too. The tree itself was, just like the tree of life is Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no apple trees out here that's giving you knowledge. Otherwise, bunk college, right? We just go to Home Depot, grab some seeds, put them in the backyard, grow Jack and the Beanstalk, and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? So nah, it ain't no fruit that give you information. It was people. That's what that Matthew 7 was on there for. So you could definitely check that out. And then I guess I had jumped all the way to John. I ain't mean to. So we'll come back here, but that's cool. So we'll go from 6 then. So we're gonna go to Genesis 6, chapter 3 and verse 6. So we'll read the rest of it. And that means the only thing we left out was Matthew 7. Okay. So when you get there, go ahead. Genesis 3, and we're going to take it all the way to 16. Verse 6 all the way to verse 16. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So this fruit was the fruit of lies. But go ahead.
And their eyes and the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked.
Yeah.
And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord called, and the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou?
Do what they say.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.
It's crazy. This is a new conversation that's going on. It's like you was naked. You was afraid. I don't even operate like that. That's how the Lord thinking right now. Like, so watch what the next response is the Lord gonna say. Go ahead.
And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked?
Oh, he said, who told you? That means somebody talked to you. Then watch what he gonna say next. Because it was that serpent that talked to him. Then watch what he gonna say next.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Remember that tree got lies on it. So I'm just saying, it's all the same thing. The tree, the serpent, it's all Satan. So he's like, you talk to Satan? Go ahead.
And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Man, so I probably would have did the same thing. I promise you, because I was doing just fine before she got here. And Lord, I woke up and she was here. And then a couple days later, after waking up with her a couple times, then next thing you know, she started coming with this stuff. Why you give it to me, Lord?
Do it right under the
Yeah. And the Lord sitting here like, you weren't complaining the last 2 nights you had. Now you want to complain when she don't brought this fruit over here, huh? Like, all right, I got something for you too, man. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, keep reading.
And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done?
So now the woman, he asked her, what you done did, woman? Go ahead.
And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
So, the woman just told her straight up, like, hey, I got to listen to Satan, and I was just eating. I couldn't help it. Go ahead.
And the Lord God said unto the serpent.
So rule number 1, this need to be done. Because what the Lord realized is man can't be around Satan and win. Like y'all, it ain't but Adam and Eve, Satan and Jesus, and y'all lost already. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no way it's 4 of us here, and you picked the wrong one day. The first go round. So we need to do something about that. Because other than that, it's bad enough we picking Satan anyway. Meaning, like, when you look at the majority of the world, I'm talking about 999 out of 1,000 people serve Satan. You dig what I'm saying? So, and that's when they can't see him. So imagine if they could, see him, like Adam and Eve could. So watch what he's going to tell the serpent. Go ahead.
And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle.
Okay.
And above every beast of the field.
Right.
Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
So you'd be like, okay, so he's upon the belly. Some people be trying to act like, oh, well, the serpent used to have legs, and then the Lord took the legs from him. You know what a serpent with legs is? A lizard. You know what I mean? So then that's not what just happened. He didn't say the lizard deceived everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. When he put him on his belly, what he told him, look, Satan went from being up in heaven to being cast to the earth. Now he's saying, look, man, it's like you beneath the earth. Like, dude, ain't nobody gonna see you. That's all he just, ain't nobody gonna see you. He basically, we can read in other places, was placed under darkness. That's all. That's as simple as that. He just told it, and I guess in a parable way, like, well, I'm gonna put that serpent on his belly. But at the end of the day, the serpent already on his belly. So he said that. So that's what he's doing. He's like, yo, you ain't even gonna exist in my world. So he said, the beasts of the field, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So Satan down here can't be seen. You know what I mean? Go ahead. And that's killing him. Yeah. You gotta understand. He said he was perfect in beauty. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to be seen. So that is like a very nice uppercut. Now you got all these men down here, and you just gotta watch them, and you want to show yourself to him. He begging you, man, do a seance or something, man. He's begging you to see him. And the Lord like, yo, this is a great punishment with your vain butt. Keep reading though.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Yeah.
And between thy seed and her seed.
Look here, man. The woman got a seed. One woman had a seed. Mary had a seed. And that seed ended up being Jesus. Mary was a virgin. I don't care what anybody say. Because somebody came out there last week and said that, that's paganism or something. That Mary, I'm talking about one of the people who have been here before. Talking about that's paganism. Mary wasn't no virgin. And just some dumb stuff. I'm like, nah, like you reading where this woman got a seed. What women carry seed? There's only been one. And then the statement is, and I will put enmity between the woman and between your seed, Satan, and her seed. So like he just telling you, because we can see the seed of the devil is the children of those that's doing what the devil do. And then the woman's seed is Jesus. That's it. But go ahead, keep reading.
I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply the sorrow of thy conception.
Right.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Right. Like, see, look what happened. So anything that could have been remotely possibly like on some fair, like that's what the world tried to say, call it fair. That all got jacked up when she was deceived by this serpent. Like if he was like, nah, and the man gonna rule over you. This is what the Lord said to that woman. Now let's go to Psalm 90. Wait a minute, see, I keep doing it. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2. 1 Timothy chapter 2. Then we're gonna go back to Genesis, then we'll go to Psalm. 1 Timothy chapter 2. 1 Timothy chapter 2. And let's pick this up at verse 13 through 15. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 13 through 15. When you get there, take off, my brother.
For Adam was formed, then Eve.
Yeah, we saw that.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Right.
Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety.
So when it says she should be saved in childbearing, I mean, she has pains when she delivers. But at the end of the day, it's just saying her requirement ain't even going to be the same as the man's. Like, she got a whole nother level of life to worry about as the woman. And the men going, because the woman was deceived. So it's like, I can't take this woman and give her the same level of requirement that I gave to the man because I already know she going to mess it up. She messed it up from day one. So it's like, look, she can be saved in childbearing. So this is the reason why it's like, oh, y'all ain't got women preachers. Y'all don't have, because the Lord is saying it's an order, and the order is the man, the man is the head, not the woman. She the head of what she do. I can't bear no children. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she play her role as well. This is all script now. This is what we read. What verse are we at? We finished with this?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Genesis chapter 3. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 3. We wrapping it up, y'all. I see you had some complications online. You got that straight, bro?
Yeah.
All right. We do apologize for that, for those because that irritates me when you sitting there watching the election live and then all of a sudden they cut out. You got to go find the rest of it and all that. But it's all good, though. Genesis chapter 3, and we back here, and we're going to pick it up at verse 17 now. We're going to finish this out. Genesis 3 and 17. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Right. So he's saying, now you got to deal with this ground. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't going to have the good life that you had. Let's get down to verse 19.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken, from dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
So what was supposed to happen was we were supposed to eat from the tree of life. We was just going to live forever. We was going to do an Enoch move. You was going to be a regular person in your days, and then eventually you was going to be eating from this tree of life and live. Matter of fact, we're going to read that still could have happened to them. And that, but the death wasn't. That's the crazy part about it. When he said the day that you eat the fruit thereof, you're going to die, the death wasn't in what they would eat. The death is what happens after they ate it, that the Lord was going to separate himself from them. And you therefore are not going to eat from the tree of life, therefore you're going to die. That's what's the funny thing about it when you look at the story. That what Satan, when he came, it was like, you're not going to die. That's how the lie be. The lie be kind of mixed with the truth. Like, yeah, you wasn't finna die. Although man never lived to be 1,000, so we did die in that day. But what I'm getting at is, like, Satan wasn't just, he was dead wrong and he lied. But he was playing like a trick on words, though. Listening to him ain't what killed him. Separating yourself from God is what got you killed. Because he told you not to do something that you did. Keep reading.
And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living.
Right.
Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skin and clothe them. And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil.
See, pay attention. Because everybody in the heavens knew good and evil. So he say, man is like us. This is what Satan brought to man. Go ahead.
And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever.
See, he could have still lived forever had he been eating from the tree. But what the Lord is saying is, nah, you can't eat from me like that no more. Because I said in the day that you eat thereof, you're going to die. Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken.
Yep.
So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
All right, so he put a flaming sword, the cherub angels surround the tree of life. That's what we just read, right? Let's go to Psalm 99. Psalm 99. We're going to show you this was Jesus, though. It was Jesus was that tree of life in the Garden of Eden. Just like Satan was that tree of good and evil. We're going to just read verse 1. So they say the tree of life was between the cherubs, right? He put the cherubims, they surrounded the tree of life, right? Hello? Y'all see that? Mm-hmm. All right. So read verse 1 then. I'm going to show you who sit around the cherubs. Go ahead.
The Lord reigneth.
Yeah.
Let the people tremble.
Right.
He sitteth between the cherubim.
Right.
Let the earth be moved.
Yeah. That's good. So look, the Lord is sitting between the cherubims. That's the tree of life, brothers and sisters. We saw that in Genesis, the tree of life was in between the cherubim. We see in Psalm, it's the Lord. So the tree of life was the Lord. The tree of good and evil was Satan. We saw, and then otherwise you got the Lord and Satan still there with the trees, because we saw in Ezekiel chapter 28, he said that was the anointed cherub. He was in the Garden of Eden, you know, the Garden of God. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to put them somewhere. The serpent, the tree of good and evil, it's all the same thing. It's all about what they doing. Let's go back to Genesis now. Chapter 5. Chapter 5. Genesis 5. So we're still looking at, you know, the creation of Adam. And we're going to see how long he lived. Because, you know, he said, in the day that you eat thereof, you shall die. But remember, we learned something early in the lesson, that 1,000 years to man is a day to the Lord. Here's when it counts. And I thought these was typos when I was growing up. Now, I read the Bible when I was a youngster. You know what I'm saying? And I read today 900 and something years old, and I'm like, oh, that must mean 90. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was supposed to be a decimal. You know, I was so smart with it. I was like, oh, that must have been like if it said 965, that he lived to be 96. There you go. Because I was like, ain't no way you live to be. I ain't know better. You know what I'm saying? I learned once I started learning the book, I understood clearly. But Genesis chapter 5, let's see how long these people live for. Go ahead.
This is the book of generations. This is the book of the generations of Adam.
Yeah.
In the day then.
Yeah.
In the likeness of God made he him.
Yes.
Male and female created he them.
Go ahead.
And blessed them and called their name Adam in the day when they were created.
Called their name Adam. Because once again, I'm telling you, Adam is man. It means man. That's what it is. Go ahead.
And Adam lived 130 years.
Yep.
And begot a son in his own likeness.
Yep.
After his image. Mm-hmm. And called his name Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years.
Yep.
And